I'm Aisha, 29 years old, and I'm sitting in this courtroom watching my husband of 6 years, Ryan, laugh as he signs our divorce papers. Ryan always thought I was just a naive small-town girl with no real ambition. Little did he know that while he was cheating on me with his coworker, I was building an empire right under his nose. The judge is about to read my financial statement, and I can't wait to see that smug smile disappear from his face. Before I tell you how my soon-to-be ex-husband's expression completely changed, let me know where you're watching from and hit that like and subscribe button if you've ever had to stand up for yourself when no one expected you to be capable. I was a small-town girl from Shimla who moved to Delhi to study accounting at St. Xavier's University. I had big dreams of working in corporate finance despite my humble upbringing. My parents had always taught me the value of hard work and saving money, lessons that would prove invaluable years later. I met Ryan at a coffee shop near the university campus. I was there studying for a financial analysis exam when he approached my table. He was a third-year law student from a traditional family of Delhi attorneys, and he radiated the kind of confidence that only comes from never having to worry about money a single day in your life. "You have potential. You just need the right guidance," were his first words to me, looking at my accounting textbook spread across the table. At the time, I thought it was a compliment. Now I realize it was both an insult and a preview of our entire relationship. He seemed perfect, ambitious, charming, successful, and apparently interested in me. Despite my ordinary background, our romance was a whirlwind. Ryan took me to restaurants I could never afford, weekend trips to Manali, and introduced me to a lifestyle I had only seen in movies. But from the beginning, he was constantly improving my tastes and social circle. He criticized my local brand clothes, suggested I cut my hair in a more sophisticated way, and made subtle comments about my college friends being limited in worldview. I was making a modest income working part-time as an accounting assistant at a small firm. I loved my job, the analytical challenges and the satisfaction of seeing numbers fit together perfectly. Ryan, however, referred to it as my little job and frequently suggested I didn't even need to work. "Why exhaust yourself for pennies when I can give you everything you need?" he would say, not understanding that my career was about more than money. It was about my identity and independence. After 18 months of dating, he proposed during a romantic weekend in Mussoorie. The ring was stunning, the champagne expensive, and the moment perfectly orchestrated for maximum impact. Several people in the restaurant even applauded. It felt like a fairy tale, and I said yes without hesitation. Our wedding was an intimate ceremony in Jaipur, my choice despite his family's pressure for something grander in Delhi. Looking back, I realized that was one of the few times I managed to hold my ground against the Khan family expectations. "At least it was in a respectable city, even if it was simple," commented his mother Farah, with a tight smile that didn't reach her eyes. That was my first real taste of how his family viewed me as someone who wasn't quite good enough for their son. After our honeymoon in Bali, we moved into his house in South Delhi's Gulmohar enclave, one of the city's most exclusive neighborhoods. Everything was sleek, expensive, and cold, much like his family. I tried to add personal touches, photos, colorful artwork, plants, but Ryan preferred the minimalist aesthetic that showcased wealth rather than our personality as a couple. The first signs of trouble appeared within months. Ryan questioned every decorating decision I made, criticized my choice of friends, and made subtle digs about my career path. "Accounting is so common," he said once after meeting some of my colleagues. "You have the potential to be exceptional, but you're wasting it on bookkeeping for companies no one's heard of." I tried to fit into his social circle, the wives of other attorneys and executives who spent their days shopping at spas or planning charity events. They were pleasant enough to my face, but I never felt truly accepted. I overheard one of them at a dinner party referring to me as Ryan's experiment with the middle class. Instead of defending me, Ryan later suggested I try harder to fit in, maybe update my wardrobe or take up tennis. "They just need to see that you're making an effort to adapt to our lifestyle," he explained, as if my identity was something to be molded and corrected. Those early years were a confusing mix of luxury and loneliness, being showered with expensive gifts while feeling my self-worth diminish. I was slowly becoming what Ryan wanted, a trophy wife who reflected well on him, while the independent, creative woman I had been was fading away. 2 years into our marriage, the tensions that had been simmering beneath the surface began to boil over. Ryan had always been particular about our finances, but his behavior became increasingly controlling. Despite our joint accounts, he questioned every purchase I made while spending lavishly on himself without discussion. "Did you really need another set of professional development books?" he would ask, examining the credit card statement. "That's 12,000 Indian rupees that could have been invested." Meanwhile, he thought nothing of dropping locks on a new golf membership or designer watches. Gradually, I found myself isolated from my friends and family. Visits to my parents in Shimla became less frequent because Ryan always had an excuse: a work event, a dinner with clients, or simply that hill towns are too provincial for my taste. My college friends stopped calling after Ryan made it clear they weren't sophisticated enough for his home. "Your friend Naina asked if our wine was Indian," he scoffed after a dinner party I had organized. As if we would serve domestic wine to guests. "It's embarrassing, Aisha." My career, which had once been a source of pride, became a constant battleground. When I was offered a promotion to senior accountant, Ryan wasn't supportive. "Is the modest bump in salary worth the extra hours away from home?" he questioned. "We're planning to start a family soon, remember?" This was news to me. Whenever I brought up having children, he always said the timing wasn't right. It was around this time that I discovered my passion for financial consulting. The firm I worked for was expanding its services, and I volunteered to learn the advisory and strategic planning aspects. I found I had a natural talent for understanding investment patterns and creating financial strategies that delivered real results. Excited about this new direction, I shared my idea of eventually starting my own boutique financial consulting firm with Ryan. His response was crushing. "Aisha, be realistic. Starting a business requires business acumen, which isn't exactly your strong suit. Besides, most small businesses fail within the first year. Why risk what we have?" Our approaches to money highlighted our fundamental differences. Ryan believed in conspicuous consumption, the right address, the right car, the right vacation spots, all to maintain an image of success. I, with my middle-class upbringing, believed in saving, investing wisely, and finding value rather than just high price tags. As our 3rd anniversary approached, Ryan's late nights at the office became the norm rather than the exception.